Hey guys, so I'm gonna talk about Justice League. Thought it was pretty dope, pretty cool. I don't know, a lot of these movies, with DC, I usually come out wondering if it would have been better if they would have done it a different way, if they would have taken a different path with this. With this one, it's ironic because they're doing it in the way that these other movies they probably should have taken for the most part. But the thing is, I don't know, like, it's just they're trying to pander to these people who haven't liked these other movies before, and they're trying to put in the same stuff that many fans have enjoyed from these other movies. So at times it feels like it doesn't feel like two different movies. Okay, like this isn't like a mess. This doesn't seem disjointed or anything. It's just it's pleasing everyone who's been in the middle, who's been caught in between this. And now these hardcore fans who have liked the other movies probably don't see this as their favorite. And these other people who have hated these other movies and who have been saying, hey, that should be like Marvel, or it should be like this or that, they also don't really seem to be loving it that much. As for me, I kind of agree with them, with the people who aren't really saying that this is their favorite. As for where I would rank it, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I think it's like around where I would rank Wonder Woman and Man of Steel. And I mean, at the top of my list, I still have Batman vs. Superman. If anyone is curious about that, I actually am one of those people who, I guess like is a better term for it. It's not like I came out of it the first time enjoying it, but it did make me feel that I did have a strong reaction to it. And many people who have hated that movie don't really give it that much credit. They just, people say that it's a complete waste, and I don't think so. There's a lot of things that I enjoy about it, and it did succeed in many areas. And that's basically, I guess, what makes me like it more, is that other people hate it more than me, and I end up defending for it. But with this movie, I don't know, like, it's just the closest thing that I could say to it is that it's I think at the same level as the Avengers, because I feel that many of the moments that I saw in it were very, like, effective. It got a reaction out of me, and they got a reaction out of me in a good way, like a very, for the most part, it made me smile. It made me happy. It made me nostalgic. It made me feel very, I felt entertained. That's the thing, where Batman vs. Superman didn't really achieve, this movie does, but it doesn't achieve what Batman vs. Superman did, and that is feel impactful, feel a sense of, not just the style. I mean, the style was another big factor of mine. It just seemed realistic, and it just showed me how this world would be if we were were to have these people in it, these characters, these superheroes. And really that is what, that is a lot of what would happen. I would see that actually happening. It's not all just sunshine and rainbows like many people would want to see out of these movies. And it also got into a lot of the psychology between those two characters. And this one, they kind of, I don't know, like, I think the two people who we focus a lot on is Wonder Woman and Batman, and a lot of the psychology that goes into them doing this movie. But, and I guess Superman also gets his due because they also focus on how he feels being resurrected, how he feels being asked to, come back to life and save the world again. Like, they do touch upon that. And I feel, and this is where I kind of get, like, it has those moments where they could be emotional and they could mean a lot. But then you have Joss Whedon bringing these jokes and making it more lighthearted. And that's great and all, because because even though I like Batman vs. Superman, there were a lot of moments where I thought, let's lighten the mood up a little bit. Not too much, but just a bit. Kind of like how they did it with Wonder Woman. And that's why I think that going forward, they should give this franchise over to Patty Jenkins, because Patty Jenkins, she found the perfect balance. I mean, she made it serious enough and emotional enough and, philosophical enough that it doesn't drag the entire thing down. She did put a focus on those types of things, but it doesn't, replace the story. It's not just like a documentary. Like, that's kind of what Batman vs. Superman at times feels, is like a documentary and a whole, perspective of the psychology between Batman and Superman. Patty Jenkins, she did great, because that movie doesn't feel like a documentary. You understand the psychology, the point of view of Wonder Woman, and I feel she should do something else with this universe that isn't just Wonder Woman. I think she could do a Superman movie. I think she could do a Batman movie. Hell, I think she should be in control of this entire thing, because that's like the only movie that both who have been fans of these other past movies have accepted and say, yeah, that it's up there, it's one of the best. And these other people who haven't liked these other movies have also considered it the best. And many people, I think, including myself, felt that Justice League was gonna go into that direction. They were gonna, see what worked in Wonder Woman and try to emulate that. But that's not what they did. They basically just, with the whole Zack Snyder thing, and I feel bad for the guy. Like, people are just being assholes to the dude, even after knowing that what happened to him, and it's such a tragedy. And they're just still throwing him under the bus, saying that he did a piss poor job, and that's just total bull. And I think he has added a lot to this franchise. I think he doesn't get enough credit as much as other people are willing to. He dived into, the symbols. He didn't just give us something that everybody else that we've seen before. He gave us something different. He gave us something to think about. And I get it if you don't want to think and you just want to see the same stuff you've seen over and over again, alright, but I appreciate what he's done. And, and this is what I really felt, that Joss Whedon just, he took over this thing, and what it feels like, they just told him to make another Avengers movie. And that's what they did. That's what it seems like. Everything that Joss Whedon added to this, it's like he would have just done it with another Avengers. It's like, it feels like an Avengers movie. And don't get me wrong, I love the Avengers, but where's everything that I enjoyed? Where's that philosophical and emotional and serious tone? A lot of it is kind of like, I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. I do consider it pretty decent, but how it could have been, if this is like the best movie, I think the best movie is probably in Patty Jenkins' hands. I think she should have been brought on to do the reshoots and not Joss Whedon, but that's just my opinion. Everybody, comment below, give me a like, whatever. I understand if you don't want to subscribe, because I'm not even like doing this a whole lot, so thanks anyway. Goodbye.